Hello everybody and welcome to the Sovereign Village Project. We're coming off of our little New Year and Christmas break, so there's been a little bit of a lack of content lately as Gabby and I have really just been mostly taking the time to stop and figure out our goals for this next year and how we're going to go about attempting to achieve them all. And first and foremost among those goals is this property buyers group. I made a video about that pretty recently where we started a page on the website where people can fill out a form, and if they're interested in purchasing homesteading property or helping start a community in Middle Tennessee, that's focused on regeneration of the land and the people as well as independence, where they can fill that out and potentially become a part of it and let us know their budget, let us know their goals, let us know what they're looking for in land. So we had about 30 sign-ups, and virtually every person is looking for the same thing. We're all looking for the same thing, which is as much acreage as anyone can get, pretty much unrestricted, water. Everybody wants water. So that was pretty much a commonality across the board for the most part. And we had a really wide range of budgets in the people that responded, you know, ranging from really small ones, $5, $10, $15,000, where they may have room, you know, a budget for an acre or two or five, as well as people with much larger budgets who have equity in their homes, $1 to $2 or $300,000. And there are a couple of people with much larger budgets. And so the idea is that we're probably going to structure this around the concept of somebody with a larger budget purchasing a large tract of land, and then we have buyers lined up for them so they can subdivide and sell off parcels depending on, you know, different size parcels, and we'll have that all organized. So the next step of this is really starting the communication phase. So Gabby and I have been talking over, and we think the best way is a Zoom call. So we're going to do a Zoom call, basically a video chat between all of the interested parties. So we're going to send out a Zoom link to everybody on via email, everyone who signed up through the forum. We'll set up that Zoom call and we'll start the chat. This will not be like a public Zoom call that's on this YouTube channel. This will just be a private chat between all of us. We'll probably try to do a call either every 2 weeks or every month, depending on how it goes. And really just get everyone started meeting each other and really to flesh through what they're looking for and how to handle these kinds of transactions. But I really like the idea of an initial purchaser subdividing because there's no legal entanglements. We're not buying land together. These are normal real estate deals where somebody buys the land, subdivides, and people buy from them. Ideally at a slight markup, so there's some profit in it for that larger buyer as well. So it's a good way for somebody with large budget to acquire that land, surround themselves with like-minded neighbors for, you know, if let's say they really want 100 acres, they buy 200 acres, they keep the 100 acres that they want, and then subdivide that 100 acres amongst like-minded people from this property buyers group. So that's the general gist of what we're looking at. Of course, there are other options out there that are possible. We may come across a seller. We may come across a seller who is willing to do the subdividing, and then we as a group can say, okay, here's our needs, we can present that to the seller, and then they can go to the county and do the subdivision of the land and do new surveys and all of that. So there's a couple of ways that we can possibly go about this, and ideally we'll chat our way through that in the Zoom call. So if you have not yet signed up for that property buyers group, the link is sovereignvillageproject.com/Tennessee. It's an unlisted link, it's not there on the website, so you just have to type that in, and I'll put that down in the description as well. So sign up if you have not. We're keeping everything confidential. It's just an email form that goes right to my email. Gabby and I are the only ones looking that over. And when we have these meetings, we're not going to publicize anybody's budgets or anything like that, but they can be free to talk about that themselves. And we'll start the really more in-depth conversations. But you know, we're wrapping up our 5-acre site here in this build. We're very excited about that, and we're ready to really just turn our eye towards bigger and better things and really creating this community that we all want to create and live in. So everyone sign up if you haven't, and if you have signed up, stay tuned. We're going to be sending that Zoom link out really soon. We'll send out some simple instructions if you haven't used Zoom before. It's pretty straightforward. It's not maybe the most confidential. I mean, it's as secure as any site. It's not the most confidential one in the world, but for me, I assume anything I say on the internet is being monitored anyway, and I think that's a good assumption that we should all make, even with the private things like Telegram and the different messaging things. So we'll see everyone there on the Zoom link. If you're interested, sign up for it, and we'll keep everybody posted on our progress. In the meantime, y'all stay safe, be well, and happy homesteading. And Happy New Year as well.